the two-party system stinks. It's destroying the country. We knew
Mhm.
it would destroy the country, and as we talked about when you're on the show with me, is even Washington even warned about the problem with the two-party system and what it could lead to. And it's almost been with us since our inception. We've always had disagreements from the very beginning. We've seen how ugly politics can be, and
Mhm.
it's not just recently. I mean, people tend to look at where we are now and be like, man, the end is coming. Civil war is coming. This is awful. The rhetoric is awful. The politics are disgusting. I thought the same thing about 2 years ago. It was in the peak of COVID.
Mhm.
And I was bored. And I'm sitting there like, it was right around the 2020 election. I mean, it felt like the world was falling apart. And I'm sitting here like, are we really going to another civil war? So I started doing something novel. And as I looked up history, and I said, well, let me go to our country's history. And I started listening to a podcast, and I mentioned it on the Buff Show. It was called History That Doesn't Suck. And so I started listening from basically just before the Revolutionary War onward, learning
Mhm.
about the founding fathers and how we ended up forming as a country, the wars, and all the stories that went along from 1776 before actually, and then to where we are now. And what you'll find is that American history is full of a lot of this political rhetoric, all this fighting, and a lot of horrible
Mhm.
things. I mean, there was some people like John Adams and Hamilton and Jefferson. Some of these people hated each other, and the
Yeah.
things they said about each other and the things they did. And we had fake news back then too. We had newspapers that were literally created to write false things about political opponents. So none of this is new. Fake news isn't new. It's just the way we have fake news now. I mean, it's much more sophisticated fake news. Back then,
Right.
they just wrote it down in a newspaper and published it. But so it's always been like this. We've always had this sort of, I disagree with you. How many people can I get behind me to win my argument? And that's
Mhm.
really our political parties right now. And that's what we're seeing. It's like, we have a group of people in one party who's they want to run the country one way. We have a group of people in another political party. They want to run the country another way. And it's how many people can I get standing behind me so we can run our country our way? And it's the 49 to 51%. We've seen it now, election after election after election. And
Right.
if we keep living in a world where the 51 is always governing the 49 and the 49 feels like they don't have a voice, we are going to go to a place where in modern times it's a little bit different than it was in historic times, where everything is so instant. You can go on social media and you can arrange a protest. You can go on social media and find somebody's address. You can inspire people to go protest outside of a Supreme Court justice's house. We live in different times with the transfer of information is so rapid, and we're
Mhm.
global. You can hop on an airplane and engage in political discourse in another country now. So the consequences are of our inability to get along with one another in a political system are definitely more significant now, though I think. Um, so I think the two-party system is not good for our country. I don't like it. But then again, what other options do we have?
Hi, I'm Brian Kletter, the creator and host of the Counterthought podcast. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like it, and then also check out these two videos and subscribe to the channel. For more daily content from me, you can find me on Instagram at Counterthought CEO and the official Counterthought Instagram page at counter_thought. Thank you for watching and spread the word.